Each year we change the time with 1 hour, twice, once in March and once in October. But why? Have you ever wondered? Let's dig into it. It is called DST, or Daylight Saving Time, or summertime, as it is known in some parts of the world, was created so we can have a better use of the sunlight during the summer. Meaning, by springing the clock 1 hour forward in March, we take 1 hour daylight in the morning and we put it in the evening. That's happening the last Sunday of March. On the last Sunday in October, we turn back the clocks and we go back to the standard time. But where did daylight saving time come from? The idea was first suggested in an essay by Benjamin Franklin in 1784. But he is not the father of it. The daylight saving time was invented by George Hudson about 100 years later. This happened in the South Island of New Zealand, as George was from New Zealand. A city in Canada also used it in 1908. But the first countries to implement the daylight saving time were the German Empire and the Austro-Hungary during the First World War in 1916. The idea was, instead of paying electricity for homes, they're gonna take the money and put it in war production. Other countries followed the example, and daylight saving time was used in World War I and World War II. After World War II, countries were deciding for themselves should they use them or not. Some countries were observing daylight saving time only in few regions in the country itself. For example, USA used daylight saving time in World War I and World War II. After World War II, each individual state was choosing for themselves should they use it and when. That made a little bit of confusion. In order to minimize the confusion, in 1966, USA standardized daylight saving time for the whole country. Another example is Brazil. The southern part of the country uses daylight saving time, while the equatorial northern part does not use it. But why? Daylight saving time is most helpful for the countries that are further away from the equator. Why? The further you go, the bigger difference you will find in the daylight hours in the winter time and the summertime. Closer to the equator, the difference is not that big. So that's why most of the countries that are close to the equator does not participate in daylight saving time. There are currently 70 countries in the world that participate in DST, which is not that much when you think that there are 195 countries in the world. But it's not that simple. In the northern hemisphere, where Europe falls, daylight saving time runs from last Sunday of March till last Sunday of October. In the southern hemisphere, where the summer starts from December, daylight saving time is recognized from December through March. Even more, Kyrgyzstan and Iceland observe daylight saving time all year long. All in all, daylight saving time should be reducing car accidents and crime. Also, the extended light should allow people to use the sunlight for their homes and businesses instead of paying for electricity. Think green. On the flip side, our bodies are getting a little bit confused with that hour change, but I think that's a price to pay in exchange of 1 hour extra of sunlight. That's it for this one. Do not forget to change your time because things can get messy. See you in the next one. Someone said messy.